So
awesome. How's everybody doing out there?
Doing good, doing good.
What's
Hey,
up,
hey, y'all, you need to
Michael?
invest. You need to invest in a stage like Powur guys. You can put your JV special.
hey, we're getting there, man. This is a first attempt. We're gonna try it out. We're gonna see how things go, but we're hoping that this can help kind of expand the Solar Kings reach a little bit and help us get out there to more people. So we are live on YouTube. So welcome to the Solar Kings Tuesday training. My name's Huston O'Connor. We've got a number of great mentors on the call. Looking forward to a great meeting this afternoon. So getting started, let's start by welcoming any new recruits. Who do we have on the call that's here for the first time or is a recent add to the team? Do we have anybody?
Me. I've only been here 2 weeks.
Brandon, awesome, man. Well, welcome. Why don't you take a moment, introduce yourself, and tell us about you.
I'm from Texas. I actually work on the branch. He got me started in this whole gig. We've been working together at 24 Hour Fitness for a while. And, just excited to do this, man. I just got back from Greece and it's kind of my thing I've been excited about. So I'm just ready to go, man. Ready to learn.
Awesome, man. Well, welcome aboard. We always say you're in the right place at the right time. And with what's going on in the solar industry, there's never anything more true than that. So welcome to the team, man. Let's go ahead and move on to recent success stories. So this past Saturday, we hosted a Super Saturday Mastermind out at Redbird Realty in the Forum. Had a good turnout and had some great training. So myself, Eric Garcia, Jacob Garcia. We also got to hear from a couple special guest speakers. So thank you to everyone who came out and visited us and watched that. And now we also recorded those and posted them to YouTube. The only one I haven't gotten to yet, I need to post Jacob's. We had some technical difficulties in the middle of his, so I'm going to have to do some editing and get that one posted. So keep an eye out for that. I'll post it to the group chat once we get it going. Next is the multiple team members closing deals. I mean, Gus posted earlier today, he closed 2 deals, by the way, while he's in Puerto Rico. Pretty awesome. I know I saw multiple other people posting closed deals.
Yo, what's up? What's up, Houston?
What up, Gus, man?
So
congrats on a great
talk
day.
To everybody for a second before I leave.
Go for it, bro.
Yeah, so today's been a crazy day. Closed 3 deals. I couldn't close the 4th one because I couldn't be there. He wasn't at home. So I sent somebody else there. But yeah, made 11 grand last week. Closed 3 deals today. Close to 22K. But just unbelievable. And y'all can hear me, right?
Yes, sir.
Can I get that okay from you? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
so y'all can hear
me. Hear you.
So, yeah, man, it's been crazy. We're here in Puerto Rico. Being here for tomorrow will be basically 8-day vacation. Never done this in my life. And at the end of the day, to be honest with you guys, the family still don't believe in me, So sometimes it's hard, sometimes it's easy, but we're here to make it happen.
Amen, man. Congrats on a great couple weeks, Gus. Obviously, the amount of hustle you put into it, there's no wonder why you're succeeding the way you are. So congratulations to you, man. A lot of other team members are out there succeeding as well. I know I've closed a couple deals in the past week. I've seen a few other folks out there that have closed a couple deals. So keep hustling out there. One thing that I'll tell you, typically as we move into that fall and winter season, we see a little bit of a slowdown in the market. It doesn't seem to be happening yet. I know for me personally, September was the best month I've ever had. And so if you're out there hustling, if you're out there being consistent, putting your name out there, there's no reason why you can't also succeed. So keep it up, guys. Keep killing it out there. Next, a special congratulations. I think we may have mentioned this on last week's call, but since I wasn't on the call last week, I wanted to give a special shout out to Dario Davis, one of the tier 3 mentors on the platform. He hit a major milestone in the last couple of weeks. He hit the $100,000 earn mark and earned his Team 1 jacket. So big congratulations to Dario. I don't know, I don't see him on the call, but if you talk to him, make sure you give him a shout out. It's a big accomplishment and a big milestone. So congratulations to him. Next up, anybody on the call that's tiered up this week? Maybe you closed your 3rd deal with a mentor and you've gone up to tier 2, or closed that 5th solo sale and moved up to tier 3. Matthew Kane, I know you told me the other day you got 1 left. Any luck yet? I don't think Matthew's paying attention. I see him, but he's not talking.
No, I just got a phone call, Houston.
Oh, no worries, man. How you doing on that last deal to get to tier 3?
Haven't sealed it up just yet, but we're gonna try and get it before the end of the month.
Very nice. Make it happen, man. I know you get
Houston.
there.
Everybody send some good vibes to Matt, guys. One more deal, make some mentors, send some good vibes.
Thanks, everybody.
Absolutely.
Let's go, baby. You got this, Matt.
Hey, Houston.
Yes, sir.
I just wanted to give a quick shout out. We have a new team member on the call, Caleb Landry.
Oh, very nice. Caleb, if you're there, you wanna unmute and introduce yourself?
He might be having audio issues, but we just wanted to give him a quick shout out. He joined the team with me and Rob.
Cool. Well, I know Lyle's killing it. Lyle's closed a couple deals down in Florida. Congratulations to you, Lyle.
Thank you.
Caleb, great to have you on the team, man, and welcome aboard. You know, look forward to seeing your name pop up on those leaderboard lists soon. So anything we can do as team leaders and mentors to help, we're here for you. Feel free to reach out to us, to Rob, Lyle. You got a plethora of knowledge and experience here to help you. So congratulations, welcome aboard.
He said his audio is not working, but he's super glad to be here, and thank you.
Awesome. Jacob, you got something to say, man?
Yeah, hey brother, we got a guest on. Let me see. I saw his name there, Seth Garza. He was actually at Saturday's event, and so Eric, Jeff Garza, and myself, we're gonna be turning Seth Garza on to solar, man. He was there Saturday, and I think he's pumped up and ready to go. So
awesome. Yeah, I was able to meet Seth on Saturday. Seems like a sharp young guy who's going to get out there and kill it. So, Seth, you want to say something to the team?
I'm glad to be here. Glad to learn something new. Everything seems pretty fun, honestly.
Awesome, man. Well, tell us about Saturday. What did you think about the Saturday training?
I thought it was a lot of good information, stuff that I've never been introduced to before. So it was definitely cool to get a new subject under my belt.
Awesome. Well, I know at this point it's kind of like drinking through a fire hose. So don't expect to retain everything right away. Just continue to hustle out there. You know, like we said in the training on Saturday, you're new to the business. You really have one job: get it, submit it, tag it. Right?
Yes, sir.
There you go. Congratulations, man. Welcome to the team.
Thanks.
Last up, we've already kind of started the shout outs. Anybody else have additional shout outs that they want to call out?
Hey, Houston, this is Rob. Yeah, I do.
Yes, sir.
It's kind of a mix. It's a mixture of shout out and tier 2. You already gave a little bit of a shout out, but the deal that he just closed last night was his first official tier 1 or tier 2 closing that he did for himself. So I just wanted to highlight the actual event because you're right. He's been killing it. His team is growing like crazy, and he's just freaking leveling up, man. So I just wanted to shout out one more time to Lyle Wang because he's earned it for sure this week.
All right, Lyle.
Awesome, Lyle. Yeah, man. Congratulations.
Hey, appreciate it. I couldn't do it without Rob's help and the team, man. You guys are awesome. I love the team. Thanks for your leadership, Eric, Houston. You guys rock, man. I love it.
Amen,
Thank
brother.
you.
Congratulations.
Thank
Hey,
you.
Gus, you had
Lyle. I'm
unmuted.
so
Did you
proud
have
of
something else to
man.
say?
Sorry about that, Houston. I was just telling Lyle we're very proud of him. He stuck in the game. He stayed trusting the process, and that's what it takes, man. Good job, Lau.
That's
And
right.
great job,
And then,
Lau.
Thank you.
heck yeah.
Hey, Gus, you unmuted a second ago. Did you have something you wanted to add? I don't know, maybe it was an accident. Gus, if you had something, feel free to unmute and stop me here in a second. So we're going to move on to important power updates. As most of you probably noticed, one key thing that's happened over the last couple of days, we've got a new panel on the platform. It is the Longy 355. The great thing about these panels, yes, they are smaller, but make sure you're getting a redesign for a 60 cell panel. Right now, the default design from the design team is coming in as a 72 cell panel. Make sure if you want to use the Longys that you're asking for a redesign with the 60 cell. Typically, they're going to be able to add a few additional panels to the roof because of the smaller footprint. A couple of the key things to point out on this, pricing wise, they are by far the cheapest panel that we currently have available. In Texas, they're listed at 62 cents per watt, a full 10 cents cheaper than the Mission Solars, and 8 cents cheaper, or 7 cents cheaper, excuse me, than the Canadian. So definitely a little bit more cost-effective option. As you can see in the screenshot in the picture here, they are a 120 half cell or 60 full cell panel with a 19% efficiency rating. So it is a pretty good quality panel and about an 85% degradation guarantee. So right in line with everything else we're offering, just with a smaller footprint. So particularly on those roofs where you've got a little bit more intricate design, consider going to a 60 cell panel, smaller footprint to allow for more panels on the roof. Just test it, see which one works better. If you're able to get a higher offset with the 72, stick with those. If you're able to fit 4 or 5 more panels on and get a higher overall offset using the 60 cells, it's definitely a good option to choose. So check that out when you get a chance. Next is Career Week. Who's ready for Career Week? Who's started promoting it? I know I've started promoting it on our social media pages. Career Week is a really cool thing that Powur's come up with, and it's ultimately designed to help you specifically target particular industries to bring them into your team. October 24th, they're going to start out with solar professionals. These are guys that are already in the solar business, maybe don't know a whole lot about power, and we want to share why power is the right way to go and the right selection for them in order to continue to grow their career. October 25th, we've got home services. So when you think of home services, what do you think of? HVAC, roofers, electricians, plumbers, anybody who's consistently in a home is a great person to invite to this event on October 25th. This is going to be specifically tailored to how can they take their current business and plug solar into that business. Definitely going to be a great event. And then the next night on October 26th, we've got the real estate and mortgage folks. Again, most of us are already aware how well real estate, mortgage, and solar all kind of work together. This is going to be a tailored event that's specifically targeting real estate professionals. So if you know anybody in the real estate industry who's been considering it, maybe somebody who doesn't know a whole lot but is open to it, get them on this call and make sure you're promoting these guys. Lastly, as far as updates, this is more of a personal update than it is a power update, but many of you know I've been very active in BNI since December. I've actually just taken over the vice president role in my chapter of BNI. And guys, in 9 months, BNI has given me over $30,000 in commissions. It cost me $900 for a 1-year membership. And in 9 months, I've earned $30,000 through BNI.
Houston.
So, yes, sir.
How much have you totally invested into BNI and how long?
So I bought a 2-year membership. So actually, let me show you this next slide here because there's some great savings. So there's a $200 application fee. A 1-year membership is $699 annually. But if you pay for 2 years up front, which is what I did, you save 25% on that 2-year membership. So instead of it being $1,400, it ends up being, what, about $1,100? So let's see, I'll tell you exactly. It's $1,050.
Okay, so
$1,050 plus a $200 application fee. I spent $1,250 for a 2-year membership. I've already made $30,000 on it, and I still have another 15 months of membership left.
that's a pretty good investment.
I'd say that's a pretty good ROI. Guys, there are 14 local chapters in the San Antonio market. I know not everyone here is in San Antonio, so if you're outside of San Antonio, reach out to me. I can reach out directly to BNI leadership and help you find an open chapter. We want to get as many power representatives into BNI as we possibly can so that we can essentially take over the BNI spot for solar. Lots of great ways to do that, but guys, I highly recommend it. It is a commitment. It's a weekly commitment that we have a meeting every week. It's usually an hour to an hour and a half long. You're expected to be there every week. There is an attendance policy. You're also expected to provide value to the team. So we want you providing leads to your fellow BNI members. We want you meeting with folks one-on-one so that you can get closer, better relationships. So it's a time commitment. It's a small upfront investment, but if you do it and you do it right, trust me, it's worth it.
Hey, Houston, I got a question.
Yes, sir.
How long did it take for you to start seeing those referrals come in?
So it's going to vary from group to group. For me, it took me probably 3 months to see my first solid lead come through. But once it got going, it just continues to kind of stockpile. So the first six to 9 months is really developing relationships with the people you're working with, right? You've got to earn their trust before they're going to be willing to give, for example, the real estate agent in my chapter, I really didn't get any referrals from her, and she's our president now. So she and I have kind of developed more of a personal relationship, and it's ultimately turned into a couple of referrals in the last month or so, one of which was that 28 kilowatt system that I posted on our group the other day. So once you develop those relationships, it just starts to come. I've got 3 more pending deals that, I've got a meeting tomorrow morning with a client that's a BNI client. I've got another one that I'm pending a presentation on, and all of those are referrals I've gotten just in the last week and a half. So it takes a little bit, but if you stay committed to that process and you fully buy into it, you can really clean up with BNI. So highly recommend it. If anybody's interested, reach out to me offline. I'd be happy to share as much info as I can, get you connected with a group. You're allowed to go visit a chapter up to twice. So if you wanted to go visit 2 or 3 chapters, there's chapters that meet for breakfast. There's chapters that meet for lunch, chapters that meet online. There's a lot of different options there. So definitely recommend it. But moving on, Eric, is Dylan on the call? I don't know if I see him on here.
Yes.
Dylan is officially on the call.
All right. Dylan, I'm going to give you about 10 minutes. So, guys, I want to introduce our special guest tonight, Dylan Shively. Dylan was kind enough to be one of the sponsors of our event this past Saturday. He came out and gave us a great speech about credit repair. I highly recommend you go back to the Solar Kings YouTube page, watch that speech. It was recorded and uploaded to the page, so you can go back and watch that. But I want to give Dylan about 10 minutes to introduce himself and his company and tell us how he can help us close more solar deals.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. So, guys, I won't take up too much of your time, but I do want to give a couple key points and to just kind of think about credit a little bit different. So I feel like it's a very common relationship between the solar industry and credit repair. And everybody knows somebody who fixes credit one way or another. But one of the main things that makes us different
is we have a lot of different ways to help your clients repair their credit. So our goal is two parts. One, we want to help people improve the overall quality of their lifestyle. And we do that by changing what their credit score says. So let me go ahead and paint a picture from like beginning to end on how I feel like we can help you guys. So you have however many people that you talk to in, you know, week by week or month by month. And I don't know how often you go back to that list, but I'm just going to throw a random number out there, kind of like what I did in the presentation before. Let's say if out of every 10 people, 2 or 3 of those were credit fails. Well, with the average commission check being about $7,000, if we were to help get those people go from fail to pass, that's anywhere from $14,000 to $21,000 a month in your pocket from clients that may have never passed before just due to credit. So one, I like to be looked at as that lead generation source. We can increase the quality of your current leads and also make some introductions for some future ones. So what winds up happening is we can help just get as many people who went from fail to a pass and help create more revenue for your business. Part two, what we're doing is we have a percentage of our business that are usually coming from real estate agents, loan officers, and they're always looking for some kind of help. And as you guys know, there's some agents and stuff that are on the call today. And they can tell you that they introduce and commingle their real estate business along with their solar business. And because they're in real estate, it helps them create more solar deals. Well, sometimes there's those people that start something and they end something. And if you're somebody who is on a team or you're looking to build a team, or if you've ever built a team before, you know that there's going to be people that they start and then they finish. They start and they stop. Some people may be in your business for 1 month. Some people may be in your business for 6 months or 12 months, however long it may be. But there's usually some people that drop off. So of those, we may have some people that are already enrolled that are no longer in the industry that we can make the referral out to you too. So we can kind of co-mingle and co-live in the space of helping each other get more leads for each business. Then part three, the last part, which I think is really important. In any business, the way to grow is having referrals. The more referrals you have, the less it costs you in any marketing dollars or time out networking. If you do a good job for somebody, they're naturally obligated to tell other people about you. That's just how human nature works. If so you do a good deed for somebody and they're really happy with that transaction, you've earned the opportunity to ask for that referral. So think about that person that you helped them with improving their credit. Think about that person that maybe they were even at that 650. They just finally, passed and they got their solar panels. But just passing versus getting a good deal on the equipment or getting good deals for future purchases, you want to create a customer for life. So I think that we would be a really good fit in helping you contribute to having that customer for life. Because look at this. Let's say they get those panels, but you still made a reference to help them with their credit. And if we take them from wherever their scores are to over a 700 and we're educating them about how credit works, we're giving them the options to show how they can build and restructure their report so they don't just qualify for solar, but we've helped them solve other problems, like maybe consolidate some debt. Maybe we helped them with deleting some collections or charge-offs. Maybe we helped remove a bankruptcy, a broken lease. We're doing something else to help them progress and further their life. Well, you're the person who introduced us. So if you made the connection and the referral went good and the customer service was good and the results were as promised or given, that increases the chances of that person wanting to refer you business or tell more people about you. So we have a direct way of impacting your business through the leads that don't qualify and helping them get qualified so they pass. And then we have an indirect way of helping you grow your business. And it's all surrounded around helping people. And so we can help you with your referral business. We can also co-market. There's a lot of things that we can do. And there's a couple different ways that we can help people. Now, we're never going to pressure any of your people to say that they have to sign up with us. And, working with us is the only way for them to improve their credit. And we believe that so much that for the first time, I actually launched this during that meeting when everybody was at the office. And so there's two ways we can help. either we can take on everything for the client to help them improve their credit, or if you have somebody who's that like true blue do-it-yourselfer, like, you know, I think I can handle this, I just need minimal guidance. We actually have our sister company now that is called Dispute Eagle. So our original company is called James Warren Group. Christian actually put it down in the comments there if you need it. You could go to jameswarrengroupinc.com. But if you have a client who is looking to fix their own credit and you want to give them the best opportunity to do so, rather than them trying to learn the laws of credit and what is disputable and how to read a credit report, we know when most people say they're going to do something, the chances of them actually doing it is kind of small. I'd say probably less than 10% of people will go ahead and go through that process themselves. So if you like a way to still track your clients, but give them the opportunity to do it themselves, you would want to guide them towards disputeeagle.com. That is our AI, our software, our letters. All the client does is sign up for credit monitoring. It imports the credit report and it'll automatically tell them, here's all the things that are disputable. Here's all the different reasons. Here's the bureaus you can send them to. And click, click, click. In under 6 minutes, your client can go from enrolled to generating their first round of letters. This system will also update them and let them know how many days until they should pull their credit again to check for results. It'll auto-generate the next round of letters. The system is the credit expert, so your client does not have to be. So if you have clients that say, hey, I've done credit repair before, and I know you vouch for the guy, and it all sounds good, but I've had a previous bad experience. And you want to guide them towards something that still helps them and still gives you the opportunity to track and monitor. So you have a reason to follow up with them to ask them how fixing their own credit is going. You could recommend them over to Dispute Eagle. So our goal is to keep all of these clients that you have inside your wheelhouse and create opportunities for you to follow up with them. If you guys follow any type of like sales training, or I believe Grant Cardone's like a big fan of this. A lot of people say, you know, the fortune is in the follow-up. And on average, it's about 8 to 12 times that it takes for you to follow up with people in order to get them to go through. So we're helping you create those additional reasonings for following up. So it's a lot better than just, you know, hey, Bob, I know I called you last month, but I'm just kind of curious. How are things going? You don't have to guess. You can have the certainty, and you're talking to them about their credit. So it is that indirect way to say, hey, I'm still helping you with something to progress forward. How's that going? Because I care about you. I want to help you, and I'm looking for you to be a customer for life, not just to facilitate this transaction. So I don't know if that covers my 10 minutes or not. I don't know if I went over. I apologize if I did. I don't know if there's any questions. I'd imagine you could just go ahead and drop it in the comments. I think Christian dropped some of my information in there. If you guys do want to contact us, you could either go to jameswarrengroupinc.com or disputeeagle.com, or look me up. My name is Dylan Shively. You could find me on Facebook, shoot me a message, send me a friend request, whatever the case is. And
Awesome.
thanks again for the time, guys.
Hey, Dylan, we really appreciate your time. Guys, I can tell you, you know, many of you know my previous experience was as a bank rep in the car business. 5 of that was one of the deepest subprime lenders in the industry, credit acceptance. And my pitch to franchise dealers in particular was very similar to what Dylan was just talking about, which is basically, hey, look, you can take that customer with poor credit that really doesn't have very many options and put them into a good quality vehicle from a reputable dealer instead of getting them pigeonholed into that buy here, pay here world that they're never going to get out of. It's very similar to what Dylan's recommending here. And the end result is those end up being the happiest customers. And they also end up being the ones that bring everyone to come and buy from you because you help them in their time of need. So if you do have a credit fail, the next time you have a credit fail, I highly recommend you reach out to Dylan. Get him in contact with your client, help them rebuild their credit, and then help them save money on their utility bills at the same time. So, Dylan, we really appreciate you coming out on Saturday, helping us out, giving us some great information, and we're glad that you were able to join us again tonight. Thanks for being on.
Absolutely. Thank you again, guys. Have a great night. Thank you for giving me your time.
Yes, sir. Thank you. All right, guys, we're going to move on. I am going to go through some of the training that I went through on Saturday. I know a lot of you guys probably haven't had a chance. You either weren't there or haven't had a chance to watch the recap video on YouTube. Wanted to go through the training that I did on Inphase Batteries and how to design a backup system that's appropriate for what you want it to do. So let's start by looking at what are the 4 different types of Inphase systems out there. First off, you've got solar only. That's going to help you save money on your utility bill. It's going to reduce your carbon footprint, and you've got access to the Enphase app. Next step up is going to be sunlight backup. Sunlight backup is going to give you the ability to have some off-grid backup potential with sunlight. However, if it's cloudy, if there's or if it's dark outside, you don't have power. Now one key with that, it does have the ability to intertie to a generator backup system. So if you're working with someone who's got a generator and they want the solar and the generator to work together, you need to, at minimum, add the sunlight backup, which essentially is the smart controller that controls the system. Next step up from there is going to be home essentials backup. That's either going to be a 3 kilowatt or a 10 kilowatt battery. It's not going to be a whole home backup, but it's going to be able to power specific loads in the house. Finally is full energy independence. That's 20 to 40 kilowatts, depending on the home's usage and need, in order to do a full home backup on the system. So let's look at what that looks like, and how much can you actually back up depending on which option you choose. So starting out, you got sunlight only backup. Sunlight only backup is going to give you up to 4 circuits. These are only going to be 120 circuits, so the smaller circuits that are found in the sub panel, typically in the garage or the laundry room or something like that, up to a 20 amp circuit. So you'd be able to back up a refrigerator, small devices, basically your Wi-Fi, etc. Next step up would be sunlight only plus the 3 kilowatt battery. That's going to give you the ability to back up 4 to 8 circuits. So you get a few more circuits, but again, same restrictions, 20 amp circuits. Next step up is a 10 kilowatt battery. Again, you're going to 8 to 12 circuits, 20 amp circuits due to the maximum output of those. And then the next step up would be potentially a whole home backup, 20 kilowatts. You'd be able to back up to a 40 amp circuit. The key here is if you want to be able to back up the oven, the AC unit, you need to go out and check that breaker on the outside panel to see what the amperage is on that breaker. I can tell you my AC unit is a 50 amp breaker, which means 2 batteries still will not back up my 50 amp breaker. It's a max 40 amps for 2 batteries. For me to do a whole home backup of my house, I would need a minimum 60 amps. Based on my usage, I'd probably need 80 amps. I need a full 40 kilowatts. So definitely something to consider. I'd be happy to share this chart with you guys if anybody's interested. Next, let's look at what that looks like in terms of devices. So again, 3 kilowatt battery, 3 to 4 total circuits. We're talking small things: LED lights, a refrigerator, phone charging, internet. Next step up, 10 kilowatt. That's going to give you the ability to do the same thing: LED lights, refrigerator, phone charging, internet, but also add in microwaves, fans, garage door, TVs, things like that. 20 kilowatt, same things, potentially maybe add in a dishwasher and a small AC unit, 3 to 4 ton AC unit. You could probably get away with that. 30 kilowatts is where you're really starting to get into a true whole home backup. That's going to give you the ability to back up things like a well pump, pool pump, air conditioner, etc. And then 40 kilowatt, that's going to be the big kahuna. That's going to be the whole all-in everything backup option. So if you're curious as to what you can back up, I highly recommend you use the Enphase System Planner. If you go to enphase.com and go to build your system, you'll be able to pull this up And from that, you can select different items to back up. So I want to back up 7 lights. I want to back up a refrigerator, 2 laptops, a microwave, television, etc. And from here, this is going to say, yeah, you can do that with a 10 kilowatt battery. If I were to go down here though and check that AC unit, it's immediately going to bump up to 20 or 30 kilowatts based off of what we just talked about. So if you're ever curious as to whether you can back something up or not, utilize this this web page. Super simple to use, very quick way to get a good illustration for your customer too, to show them exactly what they need. Let's talk about why that is. So for those of you who were there Saturday, I stumped everyone with a question, and I want to see if anybody remembers the difference between these 3 items. So what is energy? What is power? What is surge? I'm going to open it up. Anybody can tell me what is energy?
Give it to Javier. Let's see if he knows.
I don't know that. I have no clue what that is, man. Energy. Go ahead.
I was going to say, the analogy I gave on Saturday is let's think of this as a water heater. And when you're thinking about a water heater, there's 3 different components to that. So energy is the amount of water that water heater can hold. So when you're thinking battery, energy is the 3 kilowatts or the 10 kilowatts that's available to use. Power is the size of the pipe coming out of the water heater.
Yep.
That is how much water can consistently flow out of the water heater. And then surge is how much water flows through that pipe when you first open the valve. So for those first 5 or 10 seconds, how much water is flowing through there versus how much water can consistently flow through there. And it's the same thing with a battery. So your battery is how much can it store? That's your energy. Your power is how much can it consistently put out. And then your surge is how much is it capable of putting out for a 10-second stretch. So that's important when you're thinking about sizing your solar system, because different devices, particularly when you start talking about AC units and things like that, that first 10-second draw is significantly higher than the power draw that's required in order to run them. So you can't necessarily run an AC unit, even if it puts out enough power to do it. If it doesn't have the surge capacity to do it, it won't work, right? Makes sense? So let's look at how to calculate how much battery do I need. So the first thing you're going to determine is whatever items you want to back up, how much energy do they use in a 24-hour period? And particularly in Texas, you probably want this to be a 24-hour period during the time of year that you want it to be backed up. We have very high fluctuations in energy. If you're trying to back up something during the summertime, it's going to be a whole lot different. Let's say, for example, you want to be able to run your AC in the middle of the summer. That power capacity or that power requirement is going to be a whole heck of a lot higher than it would be to back up that AC unit in the wintertime, right? So determine the time of year that you want it to be backed up and how much energy do you need to be backed up in a 24-hour period. From there, we can then do a quick calculation. So let's say that I wanted to back up 800 kilowatt hours of energy per month. Divided by 30 days, that's 42 kilowatt hours per day of backup energy required. But let's say, Javier, you're down in Corpus. Let's say you have an extended outage due to a hurricane. Do you need to have enough battery power to power the house both day and night? Or do you really only need it for nighttime and cloudy time? Because during the daylight hours, the solar is going to be producing energy, right?
Right.
So typically, you're going to be able to take whatever that daily requirement is and divide it by 2. So that 42 kilowatt hours a day divided by 2, because half the day is no sun, half the day is sunlight, I need to back up 21 daily kilowatt hours in order for me to give 100% offset on my home. So what does that look like? A 10 kilowatt hour backup or 10 kilowatt battery would give me 50% backup. So I'd only be able to run my house for half the night or run half of the devices in my house for the whole night in order for that to work. 20 kilowatts would be enough capacity to back up my entire system, assuming, of course, it's got the peak power required to power the larger devices. So start with determining how much you need, divide that by 2 because you've got daylight and nighttime usage, and then size your system appropriately. Anybody questions on that? Make sense? Javier, you got something?
Yeah, I'd like to add something to that. In
Yes,
a
sir.
time, okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Javier P. Garcia. Been doing with Power for about 2 years, and I've done extensive research on battery and backup. There's so much I could tell you about this. It take up the whole meeting. But real quick, I want to touch on something. When in an emergency, guys, you need to let your customers know there is a little tip with batteries. And the tip is this: if your customer has battery backup, you want to tell them in a case of emergency situation to unplug everything, especially in an emergency, because we have what's called vampire electricity. If it is plugged in, it is going to steal your energy. And in a time of emergency, you don't want, especially if you're on battery backup, you don't want any energy loss to a can opener that you're not going to even use. If the can opener, which it doesn't have a digital clock or nothing on it, it doesn't matter. If it is plugged into that socket, it is stealing electricity. Some homes could lose between 10 to 15% of electricity per month by something just being plugged in and not even being used. So make sure when you have a customer on battery backup, and here's another tip. If that customer goes out of town, now here's another tip. If that customer goes out of town, have them unplug everything except the refrigerator, of course. They can leave that in, that's fine. But nothing is stealing electricity while that home is producing clean energy and upping their solar credits, not only to their battery fully charged, but they will accumulate and produce energy through the roof while earning them super duper credits while they're at a Disney vacation, or they're in Las Vegas, or they're on a trip to Cancun, or they're, in Cozumel, Mexico. Their system is really producing solar credits. So tell your customers, here's the second tip: get what's called a a surge protector that does automatic true shut off capabilities. And you can do it with your phone. They have smart ones now. You can do Wi-Fi. You can turn it off. The power is completely turned off for your TV, your DVD players, your anything you're not using. It kills that power. Remember, guys, it's called vampire electricity, and it can cost your customer hundreds of dollars per month. So make sure when you're a solar consultant now, you're an energy consultant manager, help them understand that electricity is running constantly and that they need to unplug those items they are not using at all. Some people, even a lamp that is turned off is still using electricity. So unplug it and let them really produce amazing electricity and have a huge solar credit. And they will recommend you every single time to their friends and family. Boom shakalaka. There you go.
Amen, Javier. Appreciate that extra little tidbit, man. That's a great information and something that honestly I hadn't thought about. So definitely, if you've got someone who's in that emergency situation, make sure they're going around and they're only leaving the things that are absolutely necessary plugged in. So thanks for that info. Next, we're going to move on. We're going to talk a little bit about basic sizing in terms of power. So remember, we talked about energy and power. So just because I have 10 kilowatts worth of battery doesn't necessarily mean I can run everything in my home, because the battery is only capable of putting a certain amount of energy out, power out. And so each InCharge 10 is capable of putting out 20 amps of power. That means if you've got something that's larger than a 20 amp breaker, you cannot back up that item. So one InCharge 10 system is typically going to be able to back up somewhere between 4 and 8, 15 to 20 amp circuits. If you add a second battery that doubles the amperage capacity, now you're able to back up 30 and 40 amp breakers that you wouldn't have been able to back up with a single 10 amp or 10 kilowatts. So remember, 30 kilowatts is going to be what's required for anything over a 40 amp. So if you've got a larger AC unit, 4.5, 5 ton AC unit, you're probably going to need at minimum 30 kilowatts worth of battery backup in order to have enough power capacity to back up that item. Now, is that going to be enough energy capacity to back up that item? Probably not, because those AC units pull a lot of power and a lot of energy. So you're going to suck up a lot of that energy if you're trying to back up that AC unit. So make sure you're setting proper expectations for your client when you're selling battery, that they're well aware of what's capable and what it's not capable of in order to maximize the efficiency of the unit and give them the maximum benefit of the system. Last thing I've got for you guys as far as batteries tonight is another great chart that Spencer shared a couple weeks ago on the Enphase training. This gives you a little bit more detail on exactly how much and what size both power and surge power you can back up based off of the capacity of the system that you sell. So an InCharge 10, continuous power 16 amps, surge power 24 amps, 20 InCharge 20, double that, et cetera, et cetera. So I'll share this. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put this on a Google Drive, and I will share the link to this on our Facebook group chat. So anybody who's interested, feel free to take a look at that. We'll get all that info out to you guys so that you've got this available. So that is all I've got tonight. We've got about 10 minutes left. Does anybody have anything else they want to add? Any additional questions?
Hey, real quick, Houston, you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, real quick, guys, just to give you a tidbit, you can write this down if you want. This is going to be super important. 2 10 kilowatt batteries will run depending on how new the AC is. If it's a Train, a Carrier, a Lennox AC unit. If the AC unit is about 10 years and younger, 10 years old or not older than that, usually it's pretty decent. You're going to need what's called a soft startup switch. That's very important. The two batteries, the 2 10 kilowatt batteries will talk to each other. They will conspire together to increase what he was talking about, power. They'll put their power together. They'll go to the smart startup switch, and it will do what's called a gradual kick start for a 4-ton unit. That is a huge unit. That could cool a 2,000 to 2,400 square foot home. Now, once it starts it up, it combines the power together. Remember what I said, not energy. I said the power. Combines the power together to get the 4-ton started. Once it gets it going, now be careful. This is what I was trying to tell you. Be careful. It's going to use up the energy in the battery. So if it's going to run, let it run for a couple of hours. The beauty with the app, you can turn it off or on. You can turn everything else off. Make sure the power goes to it all through your phone, which is huge technology, amazing technology. You don't understand. Those people become power plant managers in their little phones. Okay, but you as a consultant need to teach and train them and make them understand. This is what separates you from all the really bad consultants out there. This is why you're on here. This is why you're the best. This is why you're with Powur. This is why you get the training that you get. This is why I'm doing the tier 2 certification, which all of y'all need to do, because it is immense, intense in training. So you need to separate yourself from all the other dumbasses that are out there, to be honest with you. Okay, so if you're on here, you're with the pros. This ain't the little chingaleras that are running out there telling all kinds of bullshit out there. Okay, you are a pro out here. Okay, but you need to act like a pro. You need to learn this stuff. You need to know this stuff. That's what separates you from all those idiots out there. Okay, sorry about it, but I'm just real passionate because I know what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm telling you, you guys on here that are on here right now, you guys are freaking amazing. You don't understand the power that you have and what power gives you compared to all the other junky guys out there. And that's what they are. They're junk, and they're liars, and they're cheaters, and they're stealers. And you need to make sure you tell your customers that you're not like that. And you don't operate like that. You are a professional, and you're going to help them with everything because you're a pro consultant, and you're not going to chingalete them. Okay? So anyways, all right, man.
Javier.
I'm getting hot.
Damn, getting excited.
There you go, man. So look, there's a lot to this stuff. You got to know what you're doing. You got to be that pro. Don't play around with this. This is a $10 million a year business for yourself. That's just for yourself. So get on it, get with it, learn this shit, get your nose in the books, get your nose in the laptop, and learn this shit every day. Because somebody like me is gonna run over you, and you don't want that. Okay? You want to know your stuff, and everything's here for you. Just go out there and learn it. So when we get off of here, you need to go do your tier 1 or your tier 2 training and do it today, because the stuff I know will blow your mind away. There's so much stuff about the batteries. There's way more stuff that you need to learn. And that's what makes you a pro consultant to your customers. And that's what's going to make you $10 million a year. And you think I'm kidding? Eric, am I lying or no?
Hell no, you ain't lying.
No, I'm not lying, brother. I'm not lying. You want to raise your hand if you want to make 10 million a year. Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Dude, it's easy. It's easy. You can do it. You can do it. I'm telling you, you can do it.
Thank you, Javier. Appreciate you, brother.
Amen, Javier. Appreciate you, man. Eric, you want to close us out tonight?
Look,
I do want to.
Okay.
Let me go ahead and do this. This is a couple things I got to say. The first thing I want to say is that this is one of the best times. You know, like when I first started solar, and it got cloudier and colder, and I knew electricity bills were lower, $100, $120. I started beating myself in my head, telling me, no, I'm not going to be making a lot of money because it's going to slow down. Customers' bills are lower, so they're not going to want to go solar. I started making all these excuses in my head why I was going to adapt to the normal solar consultants thinking, saying, this is vacation time. This is time where you can just relax and do nothing. That is bull crap. This is the best time to get your customers, your prospects engaged in thinking about that summer bill. And you have to build that pain. You have to build that pain and say, how did it feel to get a $400 bill in electricity? How did that feel? You know, did you have to, was it more expensive than usual? Did you have to work overtime just to pay that bill? There are families that weren't able to go on vacation because of those bills. Okay, and you gotta let your customer know that. All right. Today, I actually was very fortunate in sitting in a networking event. It was a networking group like BNI, And there were people from landscaping, real estate, property management, a mobile mechanic. And one of them was my great friend, Jeff Garza. And Jeff Garza has been in the real estate industry for, I don't know, 10, 15 years. I'll let him, say what he's got to say. But he had some pretty interesting points that he made. And I asked him to please give us his time. Guys, this is the last 5 minutes on this call. And I want you to really listen to this information, because for me, it reminded me about how much we have to be involved during these times. Jeff is a very, very successful broker of a real estate brokerage. He's actually one of the top brokerages in Texas, leads a team of almost 200 agents, if not more. So Jeff, the floor is yours, man.
Hey, Eric, appreciate you, man. So I just wanted to share a couple of things that I shared this morning in our networking group. And this is what I typically will train agents and team leaders, whether they're rookies, a couple years in the business, or even seasoned agents. Long story short, we've got about 75 days left of the calendar year, give or take, right? I mean, give or take a day or two. At the end of the day, you all should be around more people because of the holidays than you typically will be the next coming 9 months after. So what I'm saying is that you need to take advantage of the fact that holiday season is upon us and not slow it down. So what I mean by that is with Halloween coming in, you need to be at every Halloween costume contest party you ever get invited to. You need to invite yourself to neighbors' houses. You need to get on your Facebook groups and figure out who's giving out candy. You need to be the guy giving out candy. You need to be at every Halloween event you can. After that, you need to be at every Thanksgiving event that you can. Sometimes it's okay to break tradition, to make better traditions, to grow a legacy for your family, for your younger ones. Because we're always stuck in just like repetitive mode. Well, on Thanksgiving, this is where we go. And on that day, this is where we go. How about you try to like actually challenge yourself to go to 4 or 5 different events the week before, maybe, and even the week of, right? You've always maybe said, I'm not going to go to that cousin's house. I'm not going to go to the in-laws. To me, that's not wise. Be in front of as many people as you can. And then when you talk about Christmas, between November and December, what's happening, right? You're talking about cookie exchanges. You're talking about wine parties and wine exchanges. You're talking about different gift wrapping events, right? And so a lot of y'all, most of everyone on here is a man, right? I don't think there's a single woman on this call, which we probably need some more diversity on this group. And we'll talk about that maybe next week, Eric. But what I'm trying to tell you is that you've got to get plugged in with your wife or your girlfriend or your Sancha. I don't give a shit which one it is, but you need to go like after this call, like right now, text your girl or call your wife, or go see your wife in the next room and say, babe, what events do you have coming up in November and December that you're going to be invited to because I want to attend? Or babe, what events can you create between November and December that we can host in our own home? Does that make sense? Like, you've got to stir the pot. And so people like to come out during the holidays. People like to give, and people like the FaceTime during the holidays. That has to be you. The next 75 days, you can be seen, have more valuable conversations between now and the end of the year than you probably will for the next 9 months. Just test it out, give it a shot. I kind of know what I'm talking about with this, especially with realtors, because a lot of realtors who have done what they needed to do, hit their goals for the year, they like to kind of cash it in and just slow it down for the holidays. That's a really bad plan to have momentum going into January and February. The last part I'm going to leave you with is that if you got a guy or you got a gal that's cool, if you don't, I think Jacob Davis can help you. I think Christian Montalvo can help you. You need to be wearing swag. You need to be a walking billboard. You need to have a baseball cap that has your website that says save money on with solar. You need a t-shirt. You need a hoodie. You need it now. You don't need it in December being like, oh shit, that would have been badass if I would have had a jersey that said solar energy and save money. That would have been cool if I would have had a hoodie so they knew what I did. And the last thing that I'll leave you with, is this will be the last one, is if you go to a football game, like let's just say you go to Jerry World, right? And you go see the Cowboys play or whatever, stop buying the $200 freaking Cowboy jerseys. Jerry Jones is not here to help you. I'm telling you, Jerry Jones don't give a fuck about you or your family. It's true and it's to the point. So how about you have your own swag when you're at Jerry World and everyone's taking photos of you, you're in everyone's selfie, you're in everyone's Snapchat, you're in everyone's Instagram reel with your marketing. You've got to be proud about what you do, because if I'm not sold that you're sold on yourself, I'll never use you. If I'm not sold that you're sold on yourself, I'll never use you. I want my mechanic to look like a mechanic. I want my attorney to look like an attorney. And I want my solar pro to look like a goddamn solar pro that's going to save me money and is happy to say, I'm here to advocate. I'm here to save you money. Ask me how. So I'll leave y'all with that. Hopefully, Eric, that worked for you.
Hey, absolutely. Hey, Garrett, give Jeff a round of applause. Tell him thank you for his time. Javier, thank you so much for your great tidbits, bro, and your golden nuggets. Houston, you did an amazing job as always. You know, you have some great information all the time, brother, and you're such a value to this organization, and we appreciate you very much. So I'm good, man. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate everyone being on. That's all we got. So we look forward to seeing you next week. And if you're on Facebook, if you're on the YouTube live stream, thank you for joining us, and make sure you like our page. Look forward to seeing you guys next week.